Cubs rally and win on a walk-off. Let's go.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at FanDuel. The sports stop sportsing like we want them to, but this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. The Cubs post their best win of the season on Thursday night, down 4-2 entering the bottom of the ninth. Cody Bellinger hits a one-out solo home run to make it 4-3. Then with 2 outs, Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, and Mike Tauchman all get consecutive 2-out hits, including the 2 absolutely clutch doubles by Swanson and Tauchman to tie and then win the game 5-4 and walk it off at Wrigley. Sam, it was an enjoyable night on the north side.
You know, there's a certain amount, there's a certain type of win that you have where your record, the day that you're having, the week that you're having, it doesn't matter. And when you come in down 2 against the St. Louis Cardinals in the 9th inning, when they're going for a little bit of a playoff spot against a closer who's 33 for 35, and you have nobody on 2 outs, down a run after the Bellinger homer and the Paredes strikeout or ground out, whatever it was, and you go single, double, go home. That put as much of a smile on my face as you could. Now, I shot you a text early in this game. I think the game was, what was it, about 1-1, 2-1, something like that when I texted you. And I asked you, I said, Matt, can you please do this show by yourself today? Because I'm in a lot of pain.
It was 1-1.
Yeah, it was 1-1 when I texted you, and I said, hey, I think you need to be on your own today because I got to just – I talked to my dentist today, so you just rest it. He goes, just rest this. I can't not make an appearance.
Right. No, I'm glad you are.
When they walk off in the 9th inning, give these guys credit. It's a long list. The guy, first of all, the biggest hit obviously was Dansby Swanson's double. But I want to just give credit to Cody Bellinger because, first of all, he's been red hot in the few games since he's come back.
Yeah.
He played through a fractured rib early in the year. And now he doesn't even have his finger on the bat. I don't know if you saw that close-up today.
It's crazy.
I mean, he's playing with a broken finger that's not totally healed, and you could even see that he's still in some pain. So give him credit. He's obviously a very physically tough guy.
He's hit 2 homers.
Yeah, it's wild. And that homer that he hit today, I didn't even think that was gone.
Right.
So just a really fun win against the Cardinals. And man, I really hope that they could spring this into a 3 out of 4 weekend just to win a division series. And that was a fun win. That was really fun. That made what's been a very below average week for me. That made my week a lot better.
Yeah, I was standing up most of the 9th inning. I was on my feet. It was, but this is what we do. This is who we are. I don't care that the Cubs have a 4% chance to make the playoffs. I'm going to enjoy these games and go game by game as much as I can. And series opening wins just give you that extra jolt, especially the rare one like this where they have the 120 Friday after the night win on a Thursday. It's huge.
It's beautiful.
And sweep these guys. Let's be live after Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN for a sweep live show.
We're so crazy.
Okay, just sweep them.
I'm the same guy that watched 160 out of 162 games of the 2012 Cubs.
It's incredible. And, the moment didn't look too big for them off Halsey.
Celebrating with some soup. So.
He started the inning 2-0 or 3-0 to Seiya.
Terrible at bat from Suzuki.
And I was like, you never know in this game. and then he popped out. He fouled out, and Bellinger homers. It's like, okay, I'll add it to my outline.
Yep.
But still, I wasn't thinking much. Paredes grounds out. But then Horner hits it hard up the middle.
He had a great game today.
Out loud, I say again, you never know in this game. What an at-bat by Dansby. And then Tauchman, who had multiple clutch hits in 2023. He's been up and down this year. He actually only batted the one time tonight for PCA there in the ninth and got the walk-off double. So, 53 and 58 now, Sam. 44 and 15 when scoring 4+.
Crazy. Isn't that crazy?
29 games over.
You use the phrase Tauchman's been up and down,
Yeah.
and you're right. But that's how he's supposed to be used. He's a fourth outfielder.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't believe no team traded for him. When you watch the the highlights of those famous World Series wins, there's always a guy like Tauchman getting a big hit or leading off the inning with a big hit. I was so surprised the Contender didn't, pay 150 cents on the dollar for him just to say, hey, in a late playoff game, I want him to lead off the inning, because he's a clutch hitter. He relishes those spots. And it was a really gutsy move from Counsell, because if he makes it out, you lose PCA's defense and PCA's speed at second base to start the 10th inning. So he really went for the win there, and it worked out.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I wish I could scream. That was fun, man. That's why
it was.
No matter what we say on this show, the emotions always, I'm really overjoyed with that. I'm going to have some more soup.
Seiya earlier in the game hit the farthest home run of the Cubs season when he connected for a 459-foot solo shot. That was in the bottom of the 6th inning, Sam.
Long
just
homer.
That put him up 2-1. Imanaga was removed in the 7th. I think it's easy to say now, I'll admit, but he may have faced one batter too many. I only say that because
the Goldschmidt
homered off him in the 1st.
I agree with you.
And then he doubled off him in the 7th. And then Imanaga was removed for Jorge Lopez, who allowed the RBI, singled Arenado, and then he struck out Pham to get out of it. Nate Pearson, by the way, pitched a scoreless 8th and 9th. But Imanaga in this one, Sam, and then we can go back to the rally, 10 hits.
Yeah.
That was the one that stood out because he didn't walk anybody. I mean, literally 0 walks. He missed a lot of bats, 7 strikeouts. His strike percentage was over 70%. It's really impressive in that respect. But I think today, more of those got hit around a bit. His final line was the 4 runs on 10 hits and 6 2/3. All in all, what did you think about him facing the Cards for a second time?
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I thought a lot of those hits were nothing hits. He gave up his 2 home runs, and the pitch to win wasn't terrible. It's just probably he's a good fastball hitter, and he was sitting a fastball. I thought he pitched fine. I thought he pitched fine. He's had such an interesting season because he's had 2 terrible starts, and that's it. And then there's been so many starts where he's been this close to having an amazing start, and it just, tails off in the end. But I think he was fine today. It was a much better, obviously, second start than the Mets situation. I was fine with it. I think I think 4 runs is a little unkind.
And I think he's had 2 of those starts in a row. Last weekend against the Royals and this one against the Cards.
Right.
What a great win. I do think it's the best win of the season, Sam.
Easily.
You said that to me on the phone.
They haven't won a game going into the 9th down 2 all year. I'm almost positive. They had the one where they came back against the Diamondbacks a week or 2 ago, but they were down 1.
Yeah, the one I thought of when we were on the phone was when Severino had a no-hitter into the 8th and the Cubs
was a fun
won.
one. Yeah, that was a fun one too.
But I think this is it.
Well, considering the opponent.
Absolutely. And that does matter.
And I know they say in baseball momentum's as good as your next starter. Hopefully Assad gets the ball over the plate tomorrow and they could, use this, because that was a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be Assad against Eric Fetty. Cubs already faced Fetty when he was a member of the White Sox. They scored 3 runs on 6 hits way back on June 5th. By the way, June 5th was the last day the Cubs were a 500 team when they were 31-31.
Wow.
So a lot has changed since then. Yeah, hopefully Assad with a solid outing, 5-6 innings of 3 or less, and the Cubs could touch up Fetty and be up 2-0 in this 4-game series against their rivals. So again, Cubs down 4-2 entering the bottom of the ninth. They win it 5-4 to lead off this 4-game series. Sam, thanks for coming on.
Well, yeah, and hey, guys, no, seriously, for 1 second, people don't know the behind the scenes stuff here. I really twisted Matt's arm today. I told him I wasn't going to be on the show about an hour and a half before it. Then I asked him to be on the show. So thanks for Matt for bailing me out and
absolutely it's better to have you on
and to do his thing. I'm going to go ice my jaw and watch the replay of this game.
All right, sounds good. Bye, Sam. All right, let's change up a couple of graphics here, and then we will get to the rest of the program as we're here on Locked On Cubs. Cubs with a big win on Thursday night. Coming up next, the Cubs debuted a jersey patch Thursday in their win for the first time in franchise history. We'll give you the details of that deal coming up next. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and the sports aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app, dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone, every day, all summer long. I looked up a couple football-related items on Thursday, and right now on FanDuel, the Bears over-under win total is 8.5, and the Iowa Hawkeyes over-under win total is 8.5. So some symmetry there with my favorite football teams. Week 1 of the NFL season, there is most of the lines posted, if not all of them. The Bears are actually the 3rd biggest favorite right now in week 1 as 4.5-point favorites over the Titans. The Bengals are the biggest at 9.5 over the Patriots. Head over to FanDuel.com/lockedon and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Today's episode is also brought to you by Supply House. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades. SupplyHouse.com, the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door. Do you need help with an order? Well, you can get extra support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the biz and talk to a real person every time. You could also take advantage of their free Trade Master program, which gets you access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks of a button. Supply House over at supplyhouse.com. Cubs play the Cardinals at 1:20 p.m. Central Friday, and you can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. Cubs made some news on Thursday morning when the Cubs and Motorola announced a multi-year deal to be the exclusive uniform patch as well as the official smartphone of the team. That's how they put it in the press release. They agreed to this deal actually earlier this week and waited to announce it at the start of this new homestand. The Cubs immediately debuted the patch on the jersey on Thursday, and the Motorola logo will be on all the jerseys. Home, road, the alternate blue, the City Connect, and spring training. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, but The Athletic reported that this deal is in the upper echelon of uniform deals around baseball. So let me give you a couple notes on that. There are now 23 teams in baseball with uniform patch contracts, and the biggest one is the Yankees at $25 million annually. So figuring if this is in the upper echelon, I would say 15 to 20 million, maybe even just being a little conservative there. And I know the big question is going to be, will this 15 to 20 M's help the Cubs? Of course it will. And perhaps we see that invested into the baseball product. That's the point of building this piece of the revenue pie with the jersey patch and taking this leap, is to build exclusive revenue for your own team that doesn't have to be spread everywhere else. So you would think that 15 to 20 M's is going to go towards good things for the Cubs. Couple notes here, a couple more notes. While Motorola is exclusive to the Cubs, and they were able to rise above all the suitors over these last few years because the Cubs were really careful about getting the right partner. And they deemed that Motorola was that partner. Interestingly enough, the Cubs aren't exclusive to Motorola, though. The Cubs are the second team in baseball to have Motorola as a uniform sponsor, as the Padres signed with them in 2022. And the Cubs are the second in the city, as the Bulls signed with Motorola also in 2022. So I thought that was notable. This deal with the Cubs also includes permanent signage behind home plate, which also debuted Thursday. The sign promotes the Razr phone. And honestly, folks, I didn't know Motorola still made phones. I texted that to Sam earlier on Thursday. I remember the Razr being really popular in the early to mid 2000s, and it is still humming, apparently, at least a little bit. And this isn't the first time Motorola signed a deal with the Cubs. I wanted to know if you remembered in 2006 when they agreed to a extremely unusual deal to have mobile bullpen phones. Raise your hand if you remember that in 2006. But that deal did not last that entire 06 campaign because it was so odd. I did some digging on that on Thursday. So the Motorola patch is here to stay on the Cubs jersey, at least for the next couple of seasons. And hopefully that bears some fruit on the baseball side for the Cubs. Coming up next, let's get to Farm Friday and go over 6 specific prospects that are hitting well right now in the minor leagues. Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by our new partners at Liquid IV. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. Baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. It is easy and convenient to tear, pour, and enjoy Liquid IV after a long night, a day of traveling, or a tough workout. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of popsicle firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. Along with 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today by using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com, our brand new partners at Liquid IV. All right, Farm Friday to conclude our last episode of the week here, in which I believe this is the 7th episode on our audio and video feeds this week. This all started about midday Sunday when the Cubs traded Christopher Morel and 2 prospects to the Rays for Isaac Paredes. We posted 2 shows that day, had a regular show Monday, 2 shows Tuesday at the deadline with the bonus lighter to Yankees, and then A couple regular episodes here at the tail end of the week. 7 shows. Wow. Again, thank you so much whenever and wherever you may be listening, and making us the number one destination for all things Cubs. All right, I got 6 different notable prospects here that I want to share with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually. I misspoke. 5 prospects here, 3 at AA, and a pair at AAA as well. Okay, so let's start with the trio at AA, and these are all highly ranked prospects. Okay, Matt Shaw. This is since the All-Star break. Okay, since the All-Star break for this trio for the AA Smokies, Matt Shaw is slashing in 11 games since the break. 436, 489, 795 with 4 home runs. Almost just as notably, he has walked 3 times and struck out only twice. And you're going to see that as a pattern for the next 2 guys as well. Matt Shaw should be promoted to AAA Iowa on Friday. There's nothing else for him to prove at AA. He needs to be moved up, especially if you look at the AAA box score, and I apologize, I don't have it in front of me. But right now, at second, short, and third, they have, respectfully, no-name players. They have a couple dudes on the IL down there. Luis Vasquez is one of them. And so literally like 2 weeks ago, they signed a couple guys out of independent baseball. Why not bring up Matt Shaw, have him play up the middle? He has nothing else to prove at AA, nothing. James Triantos is slashing since the break, 326, 408, 395. Again, the walk to strikeout ratio for these 3 guys, really impressive. 5 walks, only 3 strikeouts. Triantos has also stolen 5 bases. That's just since the break. And finally, over at AA to complete the trio, Kevin Alcantara, 357, 424, 607 with 2 homers, 4 walks, only 4 strikeouts. And then a pair at AAA, Owen Casey, 270, 308, 484 with 2 homers since the break, 2 walks, and a lot of strikeouts still for him. That's been his biggest issue. He's got 10 of those just since the break, which is only 8 games for Casey with the I Cubs. And then Moises Ballesteros has played his last 29 games at AAA after getting promoted across 2 levels at AA and AAA this year. He's slashing 292, 357, 487 with 14 homers and 58 runs batted in. Again, this is Moises Ballesteros. I do wonder if he gets called up before the end of this year and is just paired with Amaya. Maybe as far as, the last 20, 25 games, Ballesteros starts against righties, Amaya starts against lefties, and maybe even Ballesteros gets an appearance or 2 at DH every now and then. See what he could do the last 20, 25 games. After Thursday night's big Cubs win, there's 51 games left. So that would still be about a month or so away for a promotion. We'll see what Jed Hoyer has in mind for the lefty slugger in Ballesteros. All right, fun Friday show. Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 30 minutes, we'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or 2 along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. For Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy, and this is a winning edition of Locked On Cubs.
Go Cubs.